Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge,
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
and let's talk horror.
So today we are doing our review on Minions and Monsters.
So, a little non-spoiler synopsis about this film. It follows the Minions in 1920s Hollywood as they search for frightening creatures for their monster movie. They partner with a green creature and must save the planet after unleashing monsters.
So we're going to talk about the positives, the negatives, and we are going to spoil Minions and Monsters.
So make sure you're taking your kids, go see it, or
Or,
go
yeah.
see it by yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to have a kid.
Right.
Or steal one of your nieces or nephews.
And go and check it out. But for now, let's get to the positives.
So some of our positives, it's still really funny. It's like cute humor where it definitely makes you chuckle.
There's definitely some adult humor here, too, though.
Yeah.
You know, the main minion that's a jackass, his name is Dick.
Yeah.
And it's
for
just
sure.
like the way that they
And-
do it.
Yeah, and the robot calls him Richard, and he's like,
No,
no, Dick.
Dick. There's a lot of homages in this movie. You have E.T., The Matrix, Steven Spielberg, Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Cthulhu. I could name a bunch more. But it's just like, obviously Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great homages that you're seeing, and you're like, yes, paying tribute to the ones that came before you. We love it.
Absolutely. And the animation is flawless. I love it. I love all the different people that they have, like, you know, adversity, and they have so many different, like, characters,
Yeah.
and it's great.
And all of them look so... I've always been a big fan of the Minion-type animation as well. I mean, we got James back here. So he's back here hanging out with us anyway.
James.
Yeah. But this movie really worked because the animation works so well. It's surprisingly emotional. There's some parts with, especially our two leads, my movie, you know, and you're like, oh, come on, man.
Right.
Don't be like that. So there's surprisingly a little bit of emotion here with this one.
And it's just a fun story to follow along with. We already, you know, kind of did our little out of the theater reaction, and we just both had a really fun time with it.
Yes. And there's some meta-ness to this, which I thought was hilarious.
I do want to add one more positive.
Sure.
So, it was in the 1920s where it took place, and they actually had, like, women's right activists, and I thought that was I love that they added this to the film.
They were marching for women's rights. They were marching to try to, you know, help. There was a lot of events that were going on in that time in history that they put into this movie. And it's amazing to see that, you know, women's suffrage, stuff like that they're actually fighting for in this movie as well, which is, you're right, it's a very, very good touch. So those are some of our positives. Now let's get into some of the negatives of Minions and Monsters.
So some of our negatives, as it was funny, there was some recycled jokes from, you know, the Minions movie.
Banana!
Fun, yeah. But, I mean, we love that shit. But
Right.
we did that after the movie came out. But yeah, you're right. It's recycled.
I am going to say a lot of these are stretch. You know, like we didn't go into this looking for a straight up horror movie.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
So there are some stretches here with these negatives.
Sometimes you have to just go watch a movie and have
fun
with it.
And we did have a lot of fun. There was a lot of filler time, breaking the fourth wall, showing them behind the scenes, which is cool to see in cartoon form.
It really was kind of cool.
But it is like a lot of it is just filler time to make it to that hour and a half. You could tell that they were like, okay, we need to add a couple more seconds here and a couple more seconds here to hit that hour and a half, 90-minute mark.
And there's a lot going on at once. There's a part where, you know, our group is they are detached from each other, and we have stuff going on with this group and stuff going on with this group, and then the story as a whole being told. And yeah, there is a lot to follow along with.
And again, you could have focused on more of that stuff for the 90 minutes to wrap up some of those stories a little tighter. And there's just not enough of the monsters. And Goomy, I think, is awesome in this movie. Not just because he's voiced by Trey Parker.
Which you can totally tell.
You could totally tell.
He's so cute in it. And I already said this, but I love the way he says, "You'll move it."
It's so funny. But I wanted more of our monsters in this movie. And obviously, they're not the main characters. Right. I get it. But as someone who loves film and enjoys film, I see something that catches my eye and I want more of it. I want more of it. And I definitely wanted more Goomy. I thought Goomy was one of the high points of this movie. So like we said earlier, make sure you're going to check this out.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with it. And then come back and check out our spoilers.
All right, so we're going to spoil the film now. So it starts with a silent film type and adding minions into like old films from back in like the 1920s. They're like all black and white and they have like
commercials, important historical events, and like the minions are joined into it.
Because they've been here the whole time.
Right. So then in present day Hollywood, they're at a museum and this tour guide is like, this is James and Henry, and everybody's like, who the hell are James and Henry?
Yeah, they have no idea who James and Henry are.
She's like, they changed the world forever, and now I'll tell you the story about them, which is how we go back to learning about James and Henry.
So they, the minions, they're serving the Cyclops, which they're trying to find like their big bad, their master, the bad guy that they can be the minions for. And James creates this Lego, which the master steps on because he steps on houses. And, like, he likes to step on stuff. So, it's just, like, it's funny because if you've ever stepped on a Lego, like, that is painful.
I love this part, like, because James showing him, like, he's so proud of himself. And he has the two little Legos, which are minions, and he's like, big boss, big boss, big boss.
Yeah, so this causes, like, a series of unfortunate events. And he's, like, going back and forth and falling, and then it ends with him falling on another Lego that goes up his butt, and he goes off of a cliff, like flinging off of a cliff.
So, then he's just pointing at the minions,
like
making
to get
them
out.
leave.
Well, he's like, he has a neck brace on, and he's
in a
all
wheelchair,
broken up, and
yeah.
he's like, get out. And of course, it's always James's fault.
Yeah, James. So the next master is like the scary wizard, and the minions get his book. Totally the Necronomicon.
Like the Necronomicon, yeah, for sure.
And they create this giant bunny, and then first they're like, then it turns into this monster. It's like this big monstrous bunny. So then they use the book again to get rid of the bunny, and they take the book with them when they leave.
I wonder if that'll come into play later. So they're chasing their next like big boss, and they crash a train, and they go into Hollywood because like everything that was happening, it was like they were making a movie,
and they were just part of the movie and didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
They were it was like a train robber.
And they thought that he was like
bad guy.
robbing, which is funny because all of this they literally like chase him through the entire like set. And like they just cause all this ruckus, and he literally like lost all of his money. Like he had a big bag of money.
Out, yeah.
Like by the end, like he had no money left. Yeah.
So the director's all pissed. He's like, "Get out of here! You ruined my movie." He takes it to the bigwig executives of the studio owners. They're like, "We love these guys." Like talking about the minions. He's like, "Yeah, they're my friends. Let me go and get them for you."
Shoot, yeah.
So they want to make a whole movie with the minions now.
So their first role is trying to survive like a Viking attack, which they are scared and they take seriously, and they just like go ham onto these Vikings that are like actors, obviously, and they're probably thinking like, I'm gonna get my butt kicked by these minions.
And the minions don't understand they're acting at this point.
Right.
They don't get.
They just think they're fighting these Vikings.
Yes. So they become like the biggest stars in the whole world. Like they're putting their hands in the Walk of Fame, and they slam not James, but the other one. They slam his face down in the concrete. So they just thought that was like the funniest thing ever. So they're now the biggest stars on the planet are the minions. Henry. They slam Henry's face into the concrete.
So they end up being the star in the first like sound, like they bring in a boom mic. Yeah, a boom mic. Like this is the first like movie with sound in it. But they don't speak English, so they have these like cards to read off of, but it doesn't come out that way.
Beto.
Yeah, so they get fired because they can't speak.
Right. So James puts together the movie Minions and Monsters, but Dick, of course, is a jerk, and he won't let them do it. So James and Henry take it to the director, Max, that they got the bigwigs fired, and Max is like, look, I believe in you. Here's the first camera I ever used, and I know you can do something special. So that way James and Henry can make their own movie with that camera.
So while they're doing that, the other minions that had to follow Dick because he's like the leader, they go to this like
It's like a science fiction convention, like a sci-fi con.
and they find their real villain, and his name is Dort, and they follow him as like their new big boss. Like he's trying to take over the world.
And you think at first that he's just like a sci-fi guy in a costume.
Yeah.
And these like thugs try to beat him up, and he just takes them all out super quick on accident. Like it's like another one. Like he ducks, and when he comes up, his head hits one of them, and he goes flying.
Well, even when he takes them back to like his apartment, like you're like, oh, he like lives with some guy, and like it's just this like small little 1-bedroom apartment, and they're like, I'm like, he's definitely taking that costume off in the next room.
Right, that's what I thought. I thought eventually it was going to happen. It didn't. But he did have babies with a human woman, which is very, very weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So James, Henry, and Ed summon Goomy. They got the book and they summon Goomy. And they think they made a mistake when they see him because he's just a small tiny little monster. And he's all excited.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Zoidberg, but just smaller and green.
Yep. So he tells them at this point, like, I'll take you to some real monsters. Because they're showing him how they want monsters for the movie. And he's like, I'll take you to some real monsters now.
So on the way to the island, I guess, that he's taking them to, this shark is chasing, obviously, like, Jaws there, is chasing, and an otter, like, swims up to him so cute, and the shark starts biting, like, chomping
through their boat.
And that's when Goomy, like, does this horrible, like, scary, like...
shriek.
Yeah, and even the otter, like, jumps back
on the shark.
Yeah, and both the shark and the otter, like, go away.
Like, retreat at this point. They get to the island and they unthaw the monsters. And Goomy's like, yes, we're going to be in their movie. We're not going to destroy anything.
Yeah.
And finally, like, oh, wink.
Goomy's a bad guy.
Yeah,
you dick.
So they really want to take care of everything here. They want to erase the world, eat everybody. And at this point, Henry's catching on. But James, this is where James is like, no, this is my movie. Like, let me do this.
James, come on. Henry just wants what's best for you. He's your best friend, dude. So the other minions are with Dort, and he's falling in love with one of the like women activists. Yeah, and
they're all marching for women's rights, and the minions are doing it too.
I think it's great.
So
like
funny.
Yeah, and she's like, "You think men and women are equal?" And he says, "Yes, I think that they all need to be like under my surrender."
Ruled by me. And I love when the minions are marching because like he starts marching and they're like, "Aren't we going to take over the world?" And they're like, screw it.
Yeah.
Women's rights.
I love that.
It's so funny. So Henry hears the monsters talking outside about their plan, and they capture him, and they are going to sacrifice him when they summon the real big bad, Irene.
After Irene is summoned, Goomy tells them that, you know, pretty much their plan, and this is like a blob with eyeballs. Definitely
It looks like
the blob. Like,
yeah.
definitely taking over the city like the blob did, you know, eating everything and becoming bigger, so...
So Irene gets Henry after a chase. Like, she chases him through the town, through Hollywood, and she eats Henry. But James drives a truck through Irene and saves him. The other minions, they, like, saw this happening from the distance, and they, like, come up so they could try to help, like, defend. And at this point, you think that the robot left. He was like, but he's so big, and he ran away. So they see them attacking Irene, and then they come, and they're with the military, and they're, like, throwing bombs, and, like, they're screwing everything up, obviously. And then Dort does show up in a spaceship, and he's got all the minions with him, and like their lasers destroy Irene, and they get the book, trapping the other monsters back in the book. And this is the part with Goomy where he's like, "Don't put me back in the book!" And then they shut the book. And Ed was actually filming the whole time.
Yeah, so the guy finishes the story and the minions yell, "Cut!" And it was a movie, like inside of a movie. So even like the beginning where you have the guy telling the story of...
That was all part of the movie.
Yeah, it was all part of the movie.
So that's that meta we're talking about. Like it's a movie inside of a movie, which is a really good touch. And James, in the movie, James won an Oscar, and an Oscar is just a statue with a banana. It's a banana. Then you got a post-credit scene of them like using the book to mess with Gru and mess with the other doctor and stuff like that. So they've had
this book the entire time.
The whole time. Yeah. But like I said, I 3.5 I think is fair. As someone who loves horror-themed cartoons like this, Coco, Haunted Mansion, Haunted Hotel, things like that. I think that a movie like this, it's really fun for a kid to watch this at a young age and kind of start to understand what monsters are.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of fun with this movie.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I'm not going to rate it too harshly. Like, it's,
Right.
you know, it's not this, like, award-winning, like, horror
Sure.
movie that we normally...
So, yeah, if this was, you know, teased as the greatest horror movie
Yeah.
since Hereditary, you
But
know,
it's
obviously
just
be different.
a fun movie with minions and monsters. And we pointed, you know, we seen these monsters from movies that we loved growing up. So I think that that's amazing. And I love the minions. They're so freaking cute.
They are.
I want little minions to think I'm their big bad.
I do. So, and like I said, I think with movies like this, it's really cool for children to learn. You know, like Steven Spielberg, Trapped in the Glass. I think that's funny. They actually have E.T. You know, like, so it's cool for maybe kids will be able to learn more. And if you're watching this review and, you know, you want to start getting into more horror, check out the channel, you know, or, you know, look into some other horror movies that you might be interested in. So let us know in the comments, guys. What did you think of Minions and Monsters? Did you love it? Did it leave a little bit for you to be desired? We would love to know. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.